How you doing, me grub? Seen your video, man. And I got a response for you, buddy. You're completely wrong in everything you've ever said about me, man. Cause see, the troll and Lolcow community is killing off careers and ruining people's lives. And in some cases, because of the Lolcow and trolling community. And here's how. Let me explain to you, buddy, because I'm the only mother on this bitch that they can't shut down or shut up. That's a fucking lie, you dumb hooker.
Welcome back to a series so cooked that even Cyrax's scalp looks like a pepperoni pizza fresh out the oven. Good to see you guys back for another episode of the Cyrax Deep Dive series here on the Swampy D channel. Cyrax is, he's back as always, he never really left, but now he's crying about William Gloryhole even more, trying to plead to other trolls, and apparently even showing us his beautiful hygiene. But in a turn of good luck for the swamp at 339, the goddamn bedbug jug is still there, so all is good for now. But I'm telling you, Cyrax, when that jug goes missing again, you're not gonna like how I respond.
I can't be canceled. I am uncancelable. Don't believe me? Look at my history of how many times the trolls have tried to shut me down and I came right back. You can't cancel me, bro. I am uncancelable, dude. You need to realize this. But let me explain to you what's really going on. See, the or not the cancel culture, but the troll culture and Lolcow culture thrives off of two things: reactions and money. And a third one: fear-mongering. See, when you troll somebody and you get a couple laughs, that's fine. But when you go out of your way and you start to do it more and more and more to where the trolling then ends up in real life, that's no longer trolling, my dude.
So Cyrax has definitely been, quote, canceled, unquote, more times than probably anybody else in the history of history. But just because you come back, Cyrax, doesn't mean you weren't canceled. You're like a cockroach. You can kill one, but unless you kill the nest, there's always gonna be another one, and another one. You're kinda bragging about nothing here, but what's new? Cyrax truly is probably single-digit IQ. I'm not just saying that to dunk on him cause it's easy target, as he says. You can't have these types of comments, you can't make these types of assertions, and have an IQ that's bigger than 10. Like, he instantly makes himself sound like a dork every single time. I've got two things, there's two things. Oh wait, three, wait, maybe four. And it doesn't matter what Cyrax says anyway, he's always wrong. But you know what, Cyrax, you're right about one thing. I'm making millions and millions of doll hairs off these videos. Any day now, I'm probably gonna be able to finally buy the state of Nebraska and turn it into an actual hunting ground for goblins. I'm gonna be doing the Lord's work.
That is no longer trolling, that is called harassment. Which is what William Gloryhole, N-Word Boy, Mastro Mafia, Southern Harlot, and all these other people have been doing to me for years. It's pure, unadulterated harassment. Now, you sit there and say that I'm a... Let me break it down for you, buddy. I was never convicted. I was never arrested. I was never charged. All three branches of law enforcement have said the same thing, that I'm not. And they broke this down in the best way possible. I asked them straight up, okay, what is a true? In order to be labeled as I would have had to approach the person first.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
They do not make the approach. The person who is the to make the first move.
Ironically, if anybody had an actual case against online harassment, it would probably be William Gloryhole against Cyrax. I can tell you for a fact, there are dozens upon dozens, maybe even hundreds of videos of Cyrax threatening, calling out, and saying some very defaming things about William Gloryhole and his team. Yet, I can maybe name one or two where William Gloryhole does the same in response. And by Cyrax's logic, since William Gloryhole glory hole was just doing it in defense because he was backed in a corner, he did nothing wrong. So that again leaves Chance Wilkins, aka Cyrax, as the aggressor and the only wrongdoer. Every time you look at the situation, no matter how many times Cyrax tries to push the goalpost forward, he still, and only him alone, still looks like an absolutely awful human being.
I did not make the first move. That was Mastro Mafia that made the first move. It was Mastro Mafia and Marty that made the first move against me. I did not make the first move against them. They made the first move against me. And that's why so many good people like myself, our lives get ruined because people come in and they do this stupid shit for what? Clicks, views, all because they think that we are weak. We're not weak. We're very real content creators. We're trying to do our job, make an honest living. With me, I do music professionally.
Are you sure about that?
And I do gameplay videos. I compete in actual, well, was for a while, up until a few months ago, competing in very real sim racing competitions.
Detective determined that was a lie.
Doing very well, making very good money. I was a pro streamer on Twitch, and then what happened? William, Music Biz Marty, Southern Harlot, N-Word Boy, and all these other people saw me as an easy target.
Cyrax has still never really taken any accountability or put any logical reason as to why he was singled out. Trust me, I find people on Shorts and Twitch and all kinds of algorithms all the time that look pretty wild, that definitely have insane backstories. I see disabled people, all kinds of stuff, and nobody's going out of their way to bother those people. And there's a very, very, very simple reason for it, Cyrax. It's because it's not about how you look. It's not about your disabilities. It's not about being an easy target to make fun of. It's because you've done gross and absolutely grotesque things on the internet for a decade now, maybe even longer. The more people looked into you and the more people learned about you, the worse that it got. Every single friendship that you bring up ends in an absolute dumpster fire. Every single relationship you had ends in negativity, and every family member you have literally dislikes you to an degree that they don't even want you around their family or their home. Your own sister or your aunt, whatever you want to call her, has literally shared incredible stories about you that would make any other person get a restraining order. Your family tree is honestly like a wreath, and everything about you is literally a red flag. But again, yes, it's because you were an easy target, Cyrax, that's why.
So what did they do? They mentally my head, manipulated me, and started using me for money. And that's what you're not realizing, bro. You're in the wrong on what you're saying. Those facts you're speaking are not facts. They are bullshit made up by the masses to fearmonger, to keep people like me from making a living. I mean, if you really read the screenshots, she approached me first. I did not approach her. The contents of what was in those messages is irrelevant.
This whole fallacy that if they approach you first that you're not a PDF is literally just copium from somebody who's clearly been outed as a PDF a dozen or more times. Yes, in certain states, sting operations don't really hold much weight, and unfortunately Ohio is one of those states. But places like Florida, Texas, etc., no, that stuff absolutely holds weight, and Cyrax would have had his ass smacked a long time ago. Cyrax is just lucky that he's in a state that is a little bit behind on a lot of those types of things. And he's very, very lucky that he's labeled as a 43 and a mentally disabled little human being, where yes, the cops would have said you were a PDF weirdo. You've done some absolutely insane things, and I brought this up in a video several months back, but think about this for 5 seconds. When you were on stream with Marty and you thought the only action you could do was to pull out your private parts on stream, you have no idea out of the 1,000+ people who are watching that who was in those rooms. Think about this. I'm watching the Marty stream on my TV, and my niece, my young niece, walks into the room to say what's up to her uncle, and she looks at the TV and sees you pull out your wing wang. Guess what, buddy? That's your fault. That's not my fault. It's not Marty's fault. That's your fault. You made the cognizant decision to show that out there, knowing that anybody could see it. Anybody. And yes, while that might be an extreme example, it's a very real one. It's a very valid one. Just because your direct intent wasn't to show it to somebody doesn't mean that somebody didn't see it. And it's all the same in the eyes of the law for the most part. Whether it's indecent exposure, PDF type stuff, or anything in between, he's definitely breaking laws and he's the one doing it. Nobody made him do any of that. As much as he tries to lie and say, oh, I was backed into a corner, nobody had your life in their hands to a point to where you needed to show your booty hole, show your wing wang, and do it on several, and I mean several occasions.
So, this message is going out to Zed's actually dead. Now, I'm going to explain some real quick. I'm not mad, I'm not even angry. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, because I watched your video about me getting home from the mall, so I'm going to explain it to you the best that I can, so that you understand why I couldn't get home on my own that day. Well, let me actually explain it to you. See, I got tricked into going up there to the mall to meet my now ex, who turned out to be a troll. See, when I got up there, I went up there with no money.
What?
All I went up there with was my ID and basically everything that's in my wallet right here, which was my ID and all that shit.
What?
Like, that's literally all I did was go up there with my ID and everything that's in my wallet. You know, I went up there and had my phone, ID, all that shit, and didn't have any money because I thought that I was gonna go up there and I was gonna meet up with her and then we were gonna take her mom's car and come back here to my house so that she could meet my family and then me and her could spend New Year's together.
I know we're talking about Cyrax here, so common sense is far and gone. In what reality do you have to believe that, hey, I'm gonna go out into the world with $0 in my pocket, with nothing but my ID and my phone on 10%, and just wing it? I said this in the last video, or maybe the video before it, but come on, dude, like, why would you go meet somebody out at the mall just to go back to your house? Why didn't they just meet you at your house in the beginning? It makes no sense. This is literally a 10 to 15 minute drive max from where he lives. This is not like some crazy excursion that would add all these miles or whatever. So if the plan was to meet the family from jump, why not just come straight to the family? What logic does this make? Why would Cyrax have to take an Uber, a bus, whatever, get to the freaking mall just to find you, meet up with you, and go back home? It just makes no sense, and like the more Cyrax tries to sell this story, the more it makes me feel like I'm losing IQ points.
And so, you know, I was up there at the mall looking for her because I had been told that she was kidnapped. So I went looking for her, couldn't find her. After about 2 or 3 hours of looking, couldn't find her at all. So I tried to call up my friends to get me back home because I knew one of them might be able to get me back home, which unfortunately was not able to happen because a lot of my friends were out of town at the time.
I can promise you the friends that Cyrax called were 3 people, or maybe one of those 3 people. If it wasn't Sally and or Ed, it was gonna be his old butt buddy Security Jake. And since Security Jake probably still wants nothing to do with Cyrax for the end of time, probably didn't answer, or gave him some BS excuse like, yeah, I'm out of town. And Chance knows he has 0 friends left on his side after all these years. None of them want anything to do with him, regardless if it's behind the scenes or not, because they know somehow, some way, Chance is gonna either bring them up on a video again or get them doxxed somehow behind the scenes. Chance, if you remember, used to bring up Security Jake and all these friends all the time, and now he only does it when those people are clearly fake because he's a very lonely individual.
William.
Brother,
Oh, and by the way, to Antimatter Morty, I'd say to you is one thing, buddy. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? With little William, you really want to try to send me a painting, which, by the way, I appreciate the painting. That shit was sick. I love it. I appreciate it. Super sick. But, you want to sit there and go after my little sister Mavis? Fearmonger that goes after people who don't play ball with you. Well, guess what? She ain't playing ball with your ass. And neither is anyone else who's so jealous of me that you're mad.
So I'm sure somewhere along the way in one of Morty's videos, he probably mentioned that he hates when Cyrax goes, I freaking hate it too. Why do you think I just cut it out? I don't even say anything about it because it's absolutely grotesque and disgusting to witness. But the fact that Cyraxx genuinely sat there for about 35 seconds straight doing that is an absolute masterpiece, showing us that beautiful smile, letting us see how absolutely debaucherous his mouth is. Have y'all seen that video of that doctor breaking down his mouth? Absolutely devious. I'm surprised more medical professionals haven't weighed in. I might have to start sending this to my general practitioner to see if he has any thoughts about this. Anyways, let's check out the last few clips here before we get the hell out of here, because my brain is hurting from all this Cyraxx.
You're at the very bottom. I am the apex predator of YouTube, bro. You're just another fucking little ass fucking prey. I can get shut down at any time I want. See, I let you keep your shit up. I could go after you full on if I really wanted to. I am letting you keep your channel. I'm letting you do this shit. And that's what you don't seem to realize. I am allowing you to keep your channel. Why? Because what you do brings in free promo for me.
Well, Chance claims he could get everybody shut down at any point that he wants. He never seemingly does it. And anytime a channel does happen to go down, he does take credit, but I'm very doubtful that it was anything to do with them. YouTube's rogue terms of service AI BS can be a lot more detrimental than Cyraxx ever could. And that's coming from experience. But alas, we will see what the Goblin does over the weekend and come back with another update. I appreciate all of you showing your support as always. Be sure to hit that like button, helps the video grow. Throw down your comments about the recent Raxxitings. There's times where I'm just reading the comment section, gut hurting from how much you guys make me laugh with your funny ass comments. Funniest community on YouTube, that's for sure. Be sure to hype this video if you can, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all soon. No, I didn't forget. The bedbug jug, I'm waiting for it. Bedbug jug, bedbug jug, bedbug jug, bedbug jug. I'ma need that shit. Run me that shit. My bedbug.